if you give a man the power to feed you, he also has the power to starve you.
You're out with your friends one night and you see a handsome, dashing gentleman. He comes up to you, sweeps you off your feet, and asks you to be his girlfriend. You're thinking this could be your future husband. 3 days after meeting him, you're out to dinner with Prince Charming and he pops the question: will you move into my apartment and be my stay-at-home girlfriend? If you've ever found yourself in this situation, please run for the hills. I don't care if he has 200 roses, a Build-A-Bear, and a Louis Vuitton purse filled with $30,000 behind his back. It seems like the internet comes up with crazier and crazier ideas every single day, but one of the most questionable trends to be popularized in 2025 is the stay-at-home girlfriend lifestyle.
This is what my mornings look like as a 25-year-old stay-at-home girlfriend. I fill up Luke and I's water bottles to make sure we're hydrated, and then I made myself a Bloom green juice. And then I made Luke his latte. I make him an iced latte with cinnamon and maple syrup and homemade almond milk. Then I tidied up our bedroom and made the bed. Then I did my very long skincare routine. It's like 20 minutes long, and ice rolled. Then I did my 5-minute journal and went on a walk on the beach to get a coffee with Luke. And then I put my workout clothes on, did a workout at the gym with Luke, and afterwards made us some smoothie bowls with some superfoods. And I made myself my second caffeine drink for the day, matcha latte with Bloom's collagen, and then I planned out the rest of my day in my new planner.
In my video called Things Influencers Could Never Convince Me Are Normal, I talked about how the saying the internet isn't reality doesn't really apply now to newer generations, because almost every single thing they see on the internet, they adopt in their actual lives. And we're seeing this right now with the rise of skinny talk, clean girl talk, and many, many more corners of the internet. Because now in reality, everywhere you look, everyone has a slick back, a Stanley cup, the beauty standard is going back to skinny, and everybody is dumping buckets and buckets of water on their floors and mopping it with an entire bottle of Fabuloso. There's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of inspiration from what you see online, but the chokehold internet trends are starting to have on people in real life is getting pretty scary. And we all like to say that this is just with younger generations, but honestly, it's happening with all age groups. When I was younger, trends that influenced reality were mostly material things like jewelry from Icing and Claire's, neon nail polish, Uggs, platform flip-flops, Webkins, baby doll tops, North Face backpacks, smoky eye makeup, etc. But with the rise of TikTok during the pandemic, when everyone realized that they have the ability to spread their think pieces on life to millions and billions of people with the click of a button, we started to see not only material trends, but also philosophy trends, ideology trends, and just ideas about life in general trends. And when people see these outlandish ideas, they start to have those ideas in their real lives. And by far the most delusional ideology to come out of TikTok is the reasoning that being a stay-at-home girlfriend is the perfect and most acceptable way to live your life as a woman.
Okay, I'm at work, so I have to come outside, but I just had a question, like I need advice.
And you're consenting to be on this live, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right, so the question is, I'm 21. My boyfriend is a lot older than me. So I don't plan on having any kids anytime soon. So my question is, do you think it's too late for me to be like a stay-at-home mom? I mean, I have a job and I love my job. I love working, but I'd love to not work. But like, am I too young to do that? It's definitely something that I would like to do, but I'm not sure.
I feel like 21 is still too soon. I think it's too early. Unless that's what you want to do. If that's in your heart, because there are some 21-year-olds who don't want to be outside, who are ready to be parents. But I think it's too young. What do you
I mean, I'm not ready to be a parent, but if I could not work, then I would like to. I mean, he already pays for, like, he pays my bills most of the time. He helps me out all the time. So it's not like he's, like, not a partner, because he definitely is, and I could see him doing that. But it's like, I don't feel like I need to be outside and doing all this extra stuff, because it's not like in me. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm very like an introvert. I just come to work and that's all I like to do. So I don't know.
How about this? How about just getting married? Get married first. Give it time.
I want to get married.
But you want to have a baby and not be married?
No, like I don't think I want to have kids. Like I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I could be a stay-at-home girlfriend. I mean, I have a promise ring, guys.
Yeah, but I'm talking about kids. Would you want children?
Not anytime soon, no.
Okay. My advice to you is I would just get married first before deciding how many have kids. That's it.
Before deciding to be a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Yeah. If you want girlfriend, what's a better title? Girlfriend or wife? You tell
I
me.
mean, definitely a wife.
Okay, perfect. Well, come back and keep us updated. Thank you, darling.
And before we get into all this stay-at-home girlfriend controversy, thank you guys all so much for all your amazing support on all my recent videos. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please remember to leave a like and comment down below if you'd ever personally consider being a stay-at-home girlfriend, and subscribe to help us on the road to 20,000 subscribers. And now back to stay-at-home girlfriend culture. If you're unfamiliar with this entire stay-at-home girlfriend thing, you're probably like, stay-at-home girlfriend? You mean stay-at-home mom? As we all know, stay-at-home moms really need a new title because the title makes it seem like their lives are extremely easy. And unless you're a stay-at-home mom that also has a full-time nanny right there beside you, it's not going to be easy, and it's probably going to be one of the hardest jobs you've ever had, with no breaks, and you have to clock in at 12 a.m. and clock out at 12 a.m. if you know what I mean. Especially if you're a work from home mom. And shout out to all the moms out there, but this leads us to the question, if stay-at-home girlfriends don't have any kids, what exactly are they doing all day? And that is the entire point of stay-at-home girlfriend culture. People want this lifestyle because they just don't want to do anything all day. But it's extremely dangerous because if you're making $0.00 every single day and you're just somebody's girlfriend, that's not really safe.
I have no car. I have no job. I have no money. Because to be quite honest with you, for the last 3.5 years, I've been a stay-at-home girlfriend. I've had odd jobs here and there in between. But I've really been put in this position to be able to stay at home, be taken care of, and really be the support system for my partner. And by doing so, I gave away everything I had. And now I am absolutely left with nothing.
But on the internet, they make it seem like it's just whatever your heart desires. You get to wake up, roll out of bed at noon, do Pilates, drink matcha, eat brunch with your friends, put a face mask on, and your boyfriend just gives you like $30,000 for an allowance or something. And this is just so controversial because that sounds like you're like a kid. But let's go on. Now let's get into the differences between a stay-at-home girlfriend and a stay-at-home wife. And the most obvious thing is a stay-at-home girlfriend can be dropped like a hot potato at any second with absolutely no remorse from the boyfriend and no legal repercussions. No alimony, no divorce papers, no nothing. And not to be pessimistic, but the same thing could actually happen to a stay-at-home wife as well if her husband divorces her. So we really can't say like, oh yeah, it's more safe to be a stay-at-home wife, but not to be pessimistic. And this is the reason that I see a lot of people combating the stay-at-home lifestyle in general. Because if we're talking about just making $0.00 every single day, it's not really safe whether you're a wife or a girlfriend. Because obviously, if things get sticky, it's good to have your own income. And this is why people say to be a side hustle wife or a work from home girlfriend.
I'm going to explain to you why being a stay-at-home girlfriend or stay-at-home wife is the dumbest thing you could do as a woman. I know it's currently glamorized on TikTok at the moment that it's amazing to have a provider man for you, looking after you, paying all the bills, and you can go to Pilates, drink your $7 matchas, and that's your existence for the rest of your days. However, here's a problem with this. If this man cheats on you, leaves you one day after 20 years of being married, finds the secretary more attractive than you and walks away from you, your entire existence is absolutely fucked. You as a woman have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And this is something I teach on my TikTok page. You have to be independent mentally, emotionally, financially, and physically. You have to be able to walk away from anything and anyone that does not serve you. Because one day, trust me, if the odds go against you, and I don't wish this on anyone. I wish everybody to have a happy marriage. But life is fucking unpredictable. Be smart, play dumb, have your own income, and build your own life. Do not forget about yourself.
And of course, stay-at-home moms have a valid excuse to not have side hustles or jobs because being a mom is already a full-time job. But even then, a lot of moms today do work from home jobs and side hustles because it's just so expensive to live in 2025 and a single income is just not cutting it nowadays. With all of 2025's $9 eggs, $11 frozen pizzas, and everything else they have. Most people can't survive on just a single income, and so in most relationships, both people have to work. So sadly, stay-at-home anything isn't even an option for most moms. So all this to say that the new age stay-at-home girlfriends are actually looking for a man who makes well over $100,000 a year, essentially a man whose income is more than the average dual income. And I seriously can't stress this enough to all the women watching, please do not try to go find a boyfriend with money and throw your entire life into his hands.
Coming from somebody who has been a stay-at-home girlfriend for 3 years, it's not the life you want. And when I say stay-at-home wife, mom, girlfriend, whatever, I mean you are relying solely on your partner's income. But I saw a quote a long time ago, and I wish I listened to it. If you give a man the power to feed you, he also has the power to starve you. But when I tell you there was no amount of gifts, trips, nothing truly made me happy. And honestly, I convinced all of you that I was living the life. I feel like that's what a lot of women do. They try to convince themselves and everybody else that they're enjoying their life of not having anything for themselves. I was showing you guys this nice apartment, my daily Target runs, I was going crazy every single day. And there is a lawyer on TikTok, but she said the divorce rate with stay-at-home moms and wives is very, very high. It's kind of the same story every time on why they're filing for divorce. The man says, you don't have to work, just stay with me. All you gotta do is take care of the family. To a lot of you guys, that would be music to your ears. If he is paying for your whole life and you don't have any income at all, there will start to be a resentment. I'm just glad I was young. I didn't have any kids. I was not married. I was able to start my life before I wasted more years just staying in the house. Being in a relationship where you know you will have nothing when you leave, or if this person ever leaves, that's not gonna feel good, And also something else I didn't like about having my life completely funded, you kind of have to let them do whatever they want. To go about things differently and tolerate a lot of BS because your life is on the line. And as delusional as I was, I knew that I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Once you add kids into the equation, you're probably never gonna leave. Because once you pop out that kid, that's when you really sign a death contract. You can't go back now. Because if you leave, not only do you have to fend for yourself, you have to fend for an innocent life too. So you're definitely not leaving if you have no income. I ain't doing no wrestling. Getting back into the workforce is not easy. Go ahead and do your research. And I'm pretty sure you're thinking, oh, I could just get alimony. That's like a unicorn. Do you know how much money that man makes? Did you make him sign a prenup? Because you will get comfortable staying at home, not doing shit. And then before you know it, 10 years passes by, you got kids, your husband's cheating on you with a younger woman. Are you gonna stay, or are you gonna take your kids, get a divorce, get a job? Staying home and taking care of the kids and the house, I think that's outdated. We're in a different time now. I do believe a man should provide, but I do believe that you should have your own income too. I'm just gonna be real. I think all men cheat, especially if they have money. They have access to hundreds of women that look better than you. That might be controversial, but it's the truth. So I don't think that putting your whole life into a man's hands is a good idea right now. But I'm just being real, and I'm just trying to look out for the young women who are planning their whole lives around being a stay-at-home wife.
And even if you aren't thinking about your boyfriend or husband leaving you high and dry or something pessimistic, you have to think about what if something happens to your significant other, if they get hurt, sick, or sadly pass away, just anything that would make them not be able to support you financially anymore. And if you're just one person, or if you have children, then you don't want to be in that situation where something happens to somebody who is providing for you and now you're just left with nothing. It's really not a good way to set up for the future. Unless you have some bank account with like $1 million in it, it's just not a good way to set up your life. All in all, TikTok should just never really be your go-to for planning your future. Lately, I've been watching a lot of Dalton videos just for fun because It's really just entertaining for some reason. And I do really enjoy her level up advice because she tells postpartum people like myself to not just let yourself go by the wayside. And in Ashley's videos, she always encourages young women to not move in with their boyfriends and save the wifey behavior for after he already makes you a wife. She also says that if you give a man the wife package without him having to do anything for it, what reason does he have to marry you because he already has the wife treatment? And that's honestly the hard truth, but a lot of people don't want to hear that. So this is very controversial, and she's always getting canceled on TikTok for people clipping her videos. But let me know what you guys think about that take. Do you think it's wrong to act like a wife in a relationship before marriage? Or do you think you're more likely to get married if you show your wifey qualities? Let me know. The reason why different relationship ideologies are constantly being talked about everywhere you turn on the internet is because relationships are extremely touchy subjects. Everyone's different, so everyone has different opinions on how to have the perfect relationship. So if you say anything about how to have a good relationship, it's going to go viral because chances are 50% of people will disagree with whatever you have to say and 50% will agree. And this is why Ashley is constantly getting canceled left and right, even though she actually gives great advice and really isn't comment baiting or rage baiting, she's just giving tough love. But unlike Ashley, who makes content for women who don't have tough love giving role models in their lives, a lot of other content creators, like stay-at-home girlfriend content creators, are simply just pushing out comment bait, clickbait, and rage bait. And they don't care at all about their audience. They don't care if young women take their advice and become stay-at-home girlfriends, and they don't care if the boyfriend just leaves them and breaks up with them and leaves them with nothing, and they don't care if they have to go back and rebuild the past 3 years that they wasted with that boyfriend. Honestly, if you see anyone online telling you to make being a stay-at-home girlfriend your life goal, they are plotting on you, they're planning your downfall, and they're out to get you. You genuinely do not have to put your entire life and future into a man's hands and just sit in the house all day twiddling your thumbs for 10 months just to get a Chanel bag. It's just not worth it. And if you do this, sadly, next year you'll most likely be single with a last season bag. So please don't do this. Probably 99.9% of content creators who claim they're stay-at-home girlfriends are just rage baiting to get that viral moment. But if you look at the comments on these videos, it's so clear that the young women watching these videos actually take all this to heart and want that lifestyle. When they see women who are a tiny bit older than them bragging about their SAHG lifestyle, they really want to experience that in their real lives. And they want to fly out to Bora Bora with a man and not have to pay for anything and eat their luxurious dinner for free and get the 200 roses and the Chanel bag and everything and just trip after trip after trip and matcha after matcha. But you really can't trust these TikTokers because a famous example of a stay-at-home girlfriend TikToker who admitted to completely lying was the stay-at-home girlfriend who admitted that her entire lifestyle was a lie right before the TikTok ban. And she said that she had a 9-to-5 job the entire time. And it should also be very clear to everybody that stay-at-home girlfriend TikTokers are lying because if they're getting millions and millions of views, they're obviously work-from-home girlfriends because they're collecting that TikTok money or YouTube money. But I really want you guys to not limit yourselves and not just throw away all your dreams, goals, and aspirations just to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. Please, please don't jump on this crazy bandwagon. And 88.5% of you guys are women ages 18 to 44. So I really want you guys all to just not limit yourself to a title placed on you by a man that can be taken away at any moment with the stay-at-home girlfriend thing. And it's not like I'm telling you to throw away your love life just for money or anything, because that would also be wrong. But we have to find a happy medium. We can't just throw our entire identities away and just sit at home all day making no money and not building up our personal lives or our personal finances. But then we also cannot just strive for riches and throw away our relationships with our significant others either, or just never interact with our children or boyfriends, husbands, or anybody for money. So it's like, we just have to be well-rounded individuals that have senses of self and don't make unwise decisions in life. And this advice is coming from somebody who started their YouTube channel in 2020 and everything was going really well up until I met my husband, and then I went completely star eyes and hard eyes and I went MIA for my channel. And thankfully, my husband was actually genuine when he said that he wanted to marry me because everything turned out perfectly. But say that my husband was just like a liar and left me high and dry and broke up with me, then I would just be left single with a dead channel that I never posted on. And then I would just have to pick up the pieces and start over from scratch. So it's just always good to just not throw away your life and try to keep those star eyes and hard eyes a little bit at bay. And if your dreams aren't even content creation, say that you go to school for something and get a bachelor's degree, and then you get married, and then you never actually got a job in that field, but it's something that you really want to do. I just really encourage all of you guys to remember who you were and the dreams you had before the relationship, and try to work on your dreams even just little by little every day. All this to say that you can only control what you do in life, and you never know what the next person is going to do. And you don't want to just put your entire life in someone else's hands with absolutely no commitment on their end with the stay-at-home girlfriend lifestyle, because that's not even marriage. And obviously I'm not worried about my husband leaving me high and dry, like we are locked in for life. but in your daily life, you should just make sure that you're in a smart daily routine and not just scrolling on TikTok, absorbing all of these crazy ideas that these TikTokers are spewing for money. And I also want you guys to remember that it's a huge red flag in the first place if your significant other does not want you to do anything to work towards your personal dreams. Because if he's really locked in with you for life, he would never want to limit you or keep you down, and would want you to be truly fulfilled and happy. So he would never ask you to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. And he would just marry you and not be like, oh yeah, be my stay-at-home girlfriend for the next 10 years. And honestly, stay-at-home girlfriend just screams controlling to me, honestly, because why would you not want the girl to have any income? And my guess is that if the man cheats on the woman, then there's nowhere for her to run because she has no money to even go anywhere. So it's like, okay, I cheated on you, but you don't have any money to leave, so just deal with it, basically. And with this entire stay-at-home girlfriend life, it really makes me think about how we as women need to make sure that we're not only making our entire identities surrounded by being a girlfriend or being a wife. Because of course I love my husband more than anyone, and I love my baby more than anyone. But if you make your identity only just being a wife and a mom, you can easily lose yourself mentally. Like, we're not even talking about money right now. I'm just talking about like your mental health. If you're only thinking about how good of a wife you are and how good of a mom you are, and never, let's say, never exercising, never eating healthy, never doing anything for yourself, never drinking water, you're going to go down a dark spiral. And we really just need to make sure that we're doing just a little bit for ourselves each and every single day. And not because our 100K boyfriend gave us a water bottle and a matcha. But side note, if any of you guys are losing your identities and you can just feel yourself slipping away and you're only focusing on your family members, even though that's really, really great and you're obviously a great wife and a great mom, but really make sure that you're drinking your water. Try to make a step goal, like 10,000 steps. And if you have dreams and goals that you've left behind and you haven't been working on, just take even 1 hour a day and try to just work towards those goals. And another side note, this entire stay-at-home girlfriend culture makes it seem like the only benefit of a significant other is money. We should not only be looking for love just for $100,000. We should actually be looking for genuine love, genuine commitment, and genuine interest, and somebody who's trying to settle down with us, and somebody who actually is going to be there with us forever. And please do not just get with somebody who wants to limit you to, oh yeah, she's just my stay-at-home girlfriend. And yes, of course, we want to be in relationships with men who will provide for us and be hard workers and support us and everything like that. But we can be in relationships with providers without becoming stay-at-home girlfriends. And I feel like stay-at-home girlfriend defenders will argue that there's nothing wrong with the lifestyle, because they'll say that, I thought we wanted men to provide for us and treat us well and take us on trips and shower us with love and everything. And that's true, we do want that. But it's not really about the man providing. The actual problem with this entire internet trend is that women on the internet are telling other women in real life to waste their lives away doing absolutely nothing with their lives day in and day out, hoping that the luxury treatment will last forever. And keep in mind, there's no contract saying that it will last forever.
Women are falling into a trap of thinking that it's attractive for their boyfriend, who they are not married to say, don't worry, babe, I'll support you. You don't have to work. I'll take care of you. Like, I just saw this guy post this video saying, like, part of the reason I work so hard is so that my girl can just be a girl. She can order 500 things on Amazon and take a bath and drive her Range Rover around, which apparently is all that he thinks women are good for. But do not let a man convince you to quit your job when he's just your boyfriend because he will take care of you. That's what we call isolation, a narcissistic abuse tactic. I don't care how much money this man has. I don't care if he's a billionaire. Don't quit your job. Because if/when you break up, you are left with nothing, which will make it harder for you to leave a toxic situation. And the comments are like hundreds of women being like, may this love find me. No, God forbid I ever find a boyfriend who tells me to stop working so that he can take care of me. Feminism has come full circle to the point where women think it's feminist to be a stay-at-home girlfriend, which by the way is not a real thing, literally just a fancy way of saying that you've chosen to be unemployed. And the reason I get so frustrated by people making stay-at-home girlfriend like a cutesy internet thing is because one of the things that makes it extremely difficult to leave an abusive relationship is not having your own resources. It's one of the major factors in why a lot of women feel trapped in domestic violence situations, because often by no fault of their own, they don't have their own income. For example, if they have kids, they've agreed with their partner that they'll be a stay-at-home parent for X number of years. And because they don't have their own income, it's very difficult to leave that situation and they feel trapped. So it's not cute or adorable to abandon your career, to not have your own money, to not have your own income, that you can be a stay-at-home girlfriend with a man who you have no legal ties to, that he has 100% control over the relationship, and you can choose to do whatever you want. But to choose to put yourself in a situation where you don't have your own resources and then come on the internet and pretend like it's cute and adorable is incredibly frustrating. So I say again, don't quit your job for a man, please.
And if you are in a position where your significant other is the provider and you have a ton of free time on your hands, please use that free time to work towards your personal goals and don't waste that precious time just doom scrolling day after day just because you have your money set. And in a happy, healthy relationship, I'm sure your significant other would be more than happy to help you get started on working towards those dreams. And honestly, a provider is providing regardless, so I'm sure that you would be happier in the long run using the money that's provided to start a business or side hustle rather than just spending it all on junk at the mall that you know you're never ever going to use. Let me know what you guys think about all of this stay-at-home girlfriend controversy, and please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And please subscribe to help us on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and there'll be a lot more videos like this coming very soon. And I'm also going to make another update to the list of things that influencers could never ever convince me to buy, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys all so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys!